It's good to see that, some of the guys are working out and they speaking up for Dak Prescott. We got Overshawn who's saying, hey, that's my quarterback. We all want to ride with for. That is great, man. It seems as if, though, the players, they want to keep everything in-house and keep these guys moving. And truth be told, that's the proper way to do it, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, to understand that this team is a complete team. And last year, of course, we dropped the ball. Of course, we wanted to see more and more actions in the playoff, and it didn't happen. A lot of people are angry and upset and mad and want to throw furniture around. But the reality of it, ladies and gentlemen, is that these boys, they kind of fight for each other. And there have been reports out there from one end that they said that they're going to get this deal done.
So, Jeremy, this is all, of course, under the prism of Dak's contract situation there in Dallas. What do we know? What's the latest?
Well, Hannah, I talked to somebody directly with the team who said that the notion that the Cowboys don't want to re-sign Dak Prescott after this year is false. They are going to try. Now, can they find common ground on the contract when Prescott has unprecedented leverage here with a $60+ million cap hit this year, dead money on the contract next year? It's going to be hard for them to do, but I do expect them to try. They still see Prescott as their long-term answer. They have Trey Lance as a developmental quarterback right now, but all offseason signals are that they're going to try to re-sign their big three at some point. Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons.
My thing is, if the Cowboys wanted to get the Dak Prescott deal done, it should have been done earlier. But if it somehow one way or another happened, then it happens. And unfortunately, the way that they handle their business makes it a toxic relationship because they drag their feet around and they can say one thing, but we can look at it and say, look at the actions, dog. Look at the actions of the front office. And the action speaks that they are slow to this approach. Here's my 1,000 truth with the Jones family or the front office. We can clearly see that they do make calculated decisions. Our only problem is that they kind of move a little too slow with it. They do. They just move too slow with it. They will have an ideal, and then they just sit there on that ideal, and everything else passed them by. And I think that they got literally too many hands on too many things that's outside of football that it shows, right? And when you stretched out so much, then you don't get the returns that you're looking for. And now you have a divided fan base, and it's good for drama. It's good for, hey, man, now all of a sudden this team can do this and this team can't do this, and we would never win this, and yes, we will win if they buy in and all of this stuff. But by them moving the way they move, it creates this toxic relationship. And that is the number one problem when you are a Cowboy fan, right? And on top of that, we hear in news that it's a mutual interest between the Cowboys and Ezekiel Elliott. We can all clearly see that that's the move that they're going to go. And we just know our team. That's the craziest thing. We know how we roll. We know how we roll. There are people that can sit back and see how this team rolls. And they will ride with it, and they be cool with it. And then when it's all said and done, then they complain with it, right? That's just how it goes. We don't make moves in free agency. Y'all know that, and we complain about it, right? And when the draft hit, they don't make the draft picks that we consider the movement that should it be. We complain about it, right? And then even on the back end of the draft, they will say, hey, at least go take a look at this guy or take a real good look at that guy. And they will say that we're close on a deal, and it'll wait all the way through training camp, through maybe the first few preseason games, and then the first week of the season, boom, they sign said guy, because it always about saving money. And if you can wait until after all of that has been done, veteran contracts don't have to be guaranteed. So we know it's everything to deal with the money. I'm going to clear this up once again for those who don't understand. Veterans, after week 1 of the season, their contracts are not guaranteed for the year. So that's why you see Cowboys wait till after week 1 of the season and then they sign someone, because that will allow them to have an escape hatch to bring in said player, and none of the money will be guaranteed. So everything dealing with money with this team, and they just move super, super slow. But what I can tell you, we got a few holes, and if somehow they hit on a good running back, and somehow if they can just hit on an offensive lineman that can make impact year one, which he still will have growing pains, then it will be a better situation for us. And if somehow they can just hit on another defensive player guy, whether it be interior or, truth be told, in the secondary, then we can work things out from there. Cowboy Nation, all I can say is from here, we just going to have to survive. As they say, surviving R. Kelly, not surviving Jerry Jones, baby. Jerry Jones ain't going nowhere, baby. Y'all know how this goes. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. And that's the way we roll, baby. Ezekiel Elliott will have the silver and blue at the star on the side of his helmet. That could be a real tangible thing since mutual interests are there. We'll see. DC for life, not for short. We out. Peace. Eat time. Eat time. Zeke is back.